to my Australian election prediction from over December and January. Now, my polls for both these months are going to be the same because there's nothing majorly new in January. I'm just going to go off what the changes were essentially from November to December. So if we look in New South Wales, we see the Liberals retaking the lead there, which they did briefly lose in November. So that is good for the Liberals. We know there's a lot of marginal seats in New South Wales they'll be wanting to pick up. Pretty sizable swings they've got. Labor struggling against Liberals, struggling against Greens, struggling against Independents overall. And overall, we do see the Liberals doing a little bit better than the Independents. So that does mean changing from the last prediction. The Liberals doing a bit better, Labor down a bit. Overall, no drastic changes, but yeah, that does definitely favour the Libs from that prediction. The new polls in Victoria does show the two-party preferred race narrowing up a lot to 50-50. That's the closest I've had it in these predictions. That does show that there's also here a huge jump in the independent and others support. So we see the two-party preferred swing also looking quite big there. The Liberals generally gaining quite well, independents generally surging, except against the Liberal Party, so we'll see how that plays out in seats like Kooyong and Goldstein. We do also see that a couple of the seats which were Labor seem to be going to Liberals, and then some of those Liberal seats independent. It's really hard to tell with the methodology because there seems to be things swinging all over the place. Queensland, we did see a definite shift. We saw what was a very big Liberal lead just move back a bit to more competitive territory. Overall, we also saw the Greens have a huge surge, like 4.5%. That is something that, really surprised me to a point where they're not much behind Labor in terms of that swing right now, and now also drawing very close to even with Liberals in terms of what they were at the last election. Good news for them considering they're competing with Liberals in a bunch of seats. And this prediction I have shows that there is no change. Liberals hold all our seats, Labor hold all our seats. That others would be Bob Katter, he does hold his seat, and Greens in this prediction do hold all of our seats in Brisbane. Western Australia, the Labor just bringing out a much bigger lead, now 54-46 for the next federal election. I will give another update on what's going on with the state election, but it's looking pretty good for them there as well. But that could also give us bigger clues on what will happen in the next federal election. So overall, yeah, still a 1% swing to the Liberals expected, but that's not much change. And it's actually looking, this my best prediction for Labor out of this whole forecast, because it shows them holding all of our seats, and the Liberals being on 6. That I'm expecting them to pick up that independent seat in this prediction, and I'm expecting that Labor wins the new seat of Bullwinkle. South Australia, not much change, narrows a bit, but Labor still in front by a reasonable amount. They are of course having our state election in about a year. The popular Labor government does seem to be carrying them there. Same prediction in the seats as every other time. Tasmania does still seem to be overall a Labor lead, but still it is just that swing against them. So that is, a changing prediction. One more Liberal seat and one less Labor seat than what I predicted last time. ACT, I'm not running a prediction. It's almost impossible that any of those seats doesn't go Labor. There's talks that the seat of Canberra might go Greens. Maybe I'll have a look at that leading into the election. Northern Territory, no new data, so currently I've got 2 seats Liberal, one of them by quite a few percentage points, and the other is really close. But National, I thought what I'd update on is, since my last prediction, who are the big winners and losers? Well, Others and independents, of course, went up by 2, but we know they're not really one group. You could call the Liberals a winner because there's an increase in seats, but it's only one increase. They haven't been able to take advantage of Labour's slip, and Labour has slipped quite a bit, losing 6 seats in 1 month. So 73 to 67, that's sudden. The biggest gainer in this prediction is the Greens. They've gone from 2 seats. I had them here just holding on to Melbourne and gaining the seat of Macnamara in my November prediction. I now have the Greens holding Melbourne, Ryan, Brisbane, and Griffith, as well as gaining Macnamara. That's putting them on 5. So we can see the changes there. Labour down to the benefit of every other group. How do I stop this?